Heavyweight boxing fans, what's the deal? All right, man. So I am back with some news you can use concerning the heavyweight division, man. Seen this on boxing scene earlier. Kownacki, man, will not. I was hoping he would be on the Wilder undercard. He was saying he wanted to be back in February, but according to the article on boxing scene that I just seen, man, he's gonna be back in March. All right, so I'm gonna touch on that, and also want to talk about Christopher Lovejoy, man. He's been calling out some of everybody. I follow him on social media. Let me see who's in here so far. Jay Jerk, what's good, bro? I'm gonna wait for a few more people to get up in here, and I'm gonna talk about this. Official AJ, what's good, man? Jonathan Roos up in this thing. So yeah, man, my hopes and dreams of well, the fight could possibly still happen, but my hopes and dreams of um Kownacki being on the undercard of Wilder Fury is not gonna happen. All right. David Watson, what's up, man? Official AJ says, not thrilled Kownacki coming back in March. Yeah, I'm not thrilled about that either, man. I'm thrilled to see him come back, but I want to see him on the Wilder undercard against Brazil. You know what I mean? Kenneth Johnson, salute. Damn, I want to see him on that card, man. I'm still curious to see how this Wilder Fury undercard is going to play out, man. I've been stressing this for a while, man, but you guys know my opinion on it. I want a all heavyweight type of card, man. I guess we'll see what happens. You know what I mean? Rob Plant, he says Yaga. Official AJ says Gerald was training hard, but he always is. I hope he's going to be on it. Shit, me too. You know what I mean? I'm gonna start cooking here in a minute, man. Wait for a few more people to get in here, and I'm gonna start talking about this. What else I want to? There was something else, man, concerning the division I wanted to speak on besides Christopher Lovejoy and Kownacki. Not Raji. Nobody as of right now, bro. Right now, they're just saying that he's gonna be back March 7th. And on boxing scene, they had a whole bunch of possibilities. They named Luis Ortiz, Ruiz, Michael Hunter, Brazil, Rivas, Ajagba, Joyce, and Kaufman as possible opponents to make a fight with if he stays in house. You know, because all those guys have connection to Al Heyman, so it'll be easy fights to make. Um, I wouldn't mind anybody on that list. Now, I'm not gonna lie, Kaufman, I wouldn't be really a fan of that fight. And nothing against Travis. He's a crafty, knows how to survive, savvy, experienced pro. I just think at this point, I believe that Kownacki be too much for him. At least on paper, it looks like that, right? But you don't fight the fights on paper. Joe Joyce, I wouldn't really see him as a possibility because, well, me, I want to see him fight Daniel Dubois. But if he is the fight, Kownacki shit, sign me up. I'm not going to say no to the fight. You know what I'm saying? But I'm thinking they're looking more towards fighting Dubois, in my opinion. A Jagba, Rivas, Brazil, Hunter, Ruiz, Ortiz, sign me up. You know what I mean? I would love any of those fights. Jupiter B was good, but still Hawkins, he says Miller not going to fight Lovejoy. Jay Jerk says, my thing is, why is Rivas not fighting for a title yet? Official AJ says February 22nd and March 7th is so close. Like, that's annoying. Yeah, I agree, man. Damon Hennick's up in this thing. What's good, bro? Um, My man Basil Hawkins says Miller's not going to fight Lovejoy, too much of a risk. Jay West was good, bro. Let me cook on that real quick with the Lovejoy thing. Now, Chris, man, I follow him on Instagram. I like his personality. He's everything I want as far as outside of the ring, the way I would want a heavyweight to talk. You dig what I'm saying? Like Renee Sosito was good, bro. Um, you know, he he talks a lot of shit, and he seems as if he's willing to back all this up. And he's a guy that's, from when I listening to him on Instagram, he's coming out of his own pocket to get some of these fights. He has to go to Mexico for fights. He has to travel around. He's trying to, meet and greet the right people. I've seen him take pictures with Eddie Hearn. I've seen him take pictures with Tyson Fury, a plethora of heavyweights and promoters and managers. You can tell the dude's really trying to invest in himself and try to get these fights, man. That showed me the dude is fucking hungry. And the fact that he's 18-0 with 18 knockouts. I know what you're gonna say. And he was rated by the WBA. I think the highest he's been rated by the WBA is like number 11. if I'm not mistaken. I don't have the rankings in front of me, but um, just when I see a heavy-handed heavyweight 18-0 with 18 knockouts, I don't give a fuck if you have been fighting Joe Blow. There's a lot of guys that come up as prospects fighting Joe Blow until they can get them a fight against a named opponent. Now, about 9 months ago, I'm looking at the video right here. I made a video 9 months ago when a lot of us thought he was going to fight Nathan Gorman. You know what I mean? And that fight did not come to fruition for whatever reason. All right, I think that would have been a good test for Lovejoy, and it just would have been a good fight. You know what I mean? But he's been calling out some of everybody. The last guy he's called out is Jarrell Miller. The reason why I would like Miller to fight him, and as my man in here said, that he don't think that Miller will fight him, but still Hawkins, because he thinks it's a risk, too much of a risk. Miller, to me, man, I don't want to see him coming back fighting just a journeyman. Give a guy like this a shot, man. Shit, Charles Martin gave Gregory Corbin a shot when he was, 14, 15 and 0, up and coming, older guy, but that 15 and 0-ish type of guy. You want to give him a shot, man. So I don't think Miller is so high up to where he shouldn't give a guy like this a shot, especially when I don't see any fights. I don't see a Dillian White fight lined up. I don't see a now again, maybe behind, okay, let me say this. Maybe behind the scenes there probably is something going on. But from the looks of it, I haven't heard any rumor about Miller fighting anybody of significance. Now, when they were first saying that his suspension is up and he's coming back, yes, we heard Tyson Fury and those types of names, but as of right now, I haven't heard anybody. You know what I mean? Again, maybe there is something cooking up behind the scenes that I have no, you know what I mean, that I don't know about. But just get a guy a shot, man. What's the worst that can happen? Did he loses? It's heavyweight boxing, man, or he might spark a fucking knockout. The dude is 18-0 with 18 KOs, man. Just get a dude a shot, man. Otto Wallen got his fucking shot against Tyson Fury. And I know we're in the day of age where people say, well, who he beat? Well, who the fuck did Otto Wallen beat to get Tyson Fury? Nobody of note. You dig what I'm saying? Just some journeymen that people like me and some of you know of. You know what I mean? But rather than that, he didn't beat nobody of significance. He didn't beat nobody that did anything profound or prolific. You know what I mean? He just beat journeyman fighters and he got an opportunity of a lifetime. You know what I mean? So give Christopher Lovejoy an opportunity. You know what I mean? At least we know what he comes to do, which is knock people out. You know what I'm saying? So shit, get a dude a shot, man. He'll sell the fight. He's seem like a big bruiser up in there. Get a dude a shot, man. Damn, Pop is strong as hell. Shit. Um, Let me see. Mike Wilkins up in here. He says, just hopped on. Hope you and the family had a good New Year's. Oh, we certainly did, man. Likewise with you as well. Ronald Finkley says, Apti Devtiev versus Keith Barr, 8 rounds, heavyweights on Showtime. Yes, indeed. I spoke about that yesterday, bro. Apti is somebody that I've done a heavyweight prospect watch on years ago. So, yeah, I spoke on that yesterday, Ronald. But I appreciate you bringing that up to the chat so they can check it out. Keith Barr is a guy that's going to show some resistance, but I expect Apti to get him up out of there. Apti has an opportunity, man, to showcase his power on Showtime. So always a good opportunity. Not Roger says, are there any Lovejoy fights on the internet? I've seen some clips, uh, but it's sporadic, bro. The best that I can get of him is seeing him just hit the bag and hit the mitts. I know that's not really anything, but I mean, 18-0 with 18 knockouts, and they usually all end pretty early. Lets me know he has a one quitter hitter, and it lets me know that again, all you gotta do is look at BoxRec, and you'll see it's not notable names on there. You know what I mean? But he's just like anybody else is working their way up. He's trying to get a fight. See, that's the thing about Christopher, man. He's trying to get a fight, and he just can't get one. I'm not saying that people are scared of him. Now, he may say that, but do I think all the heavyweights are running from him? No. Some people probably like, who the fuck is this dude? 18 with 18 knockouts, just like my man in here said. But still Hawkins like, nah, I ain't about to take no chance on that shit. I don't even know dude like that. Now there are guys. He is known in some gyms. He trains a lot at the Mayweather gym. That's where a lot of his footage come from. So it's not like he's just some guy that nobody's ever seen before. He has been seen and known in the Mayweather gym. Um, One of his last posts on Instagram, he went on to say that he would not fight Sonny Conto, who's an undefeated up and coming prospect, Frank Sanchez, up and coming guy, um, Jonathan Rice, who is a tough. You guys have heard me bring up Jonathan Rice a numerable amount of times on my channel, talking about how he's a tough journeyman type of guy to fight as Tony Yoka. He brought up him that he wouldn't fight him, and he also brought up my man Michael Hunter. Now his reasoning was because they kind of helped bring him up when he was green, when he was first starting. So he feels as if like he's built some type of friendship with them, some type of fellowship with them, to where he won't want to get in the ring with them. Now, what I would say to that is this: hey man, there ain't no friends when you're trying to be the best. So if Michael Hunter happens to be across that ring between you and achieving what you need to achieve, you're gonna have to fight Michael Hunter. And I think he knows that, but I don't think he wants to take a fight right now where it's not significant and it doesn't probably mean anything. So I understand that part, but I also understand we trying to be the best, man. All that French shit gotta wait. You dig what I'm saying? We go out to dinner, have a drink, fellowship afterwards, but right now I need to knock your head off real quick one time. You know what I'm saying? To get where I need to be. Shit, Evander Holyfield went to Evander Holyfield. Who was that wedding that he went to, man? He was like the best man at the wedding. Henry Tillman. He went to Henry Tillman's wedding. I believe it was either a few weeks before the fight or it was a few weeks after the fight. But either or, you know what I mean? The best man in your wedding, y'all about to go in there and somebody about to get knocked the fuck out. So, yeah, friends is cool. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, though, man, everybody trying to be the best. You know. Um, Let me see. Basil Hawkins says Lovejoy versus one of the Nordic heavyweights, or like a Robert Helenius or Otto Wallen or Adrian Granat, somebody like that. I mean, that'd be a good name to have at least, because he really needs a name, man. Even if it's a guy that's a former contender, somebody. You know what I mean? He needs somebody, man, because right now he's searching for a fight. Let me see here. I'm gonna read y'all comments real quick, and I'm gonna cook on Kownacki and what I think about him headlining March 7th at the Barclays. But before I get to that, I see y'all talking about. Let me see. We know he was cleared. UCAT always cleared UCAT. Okay, y'all talking about a drug test going wrong. I see y'all talking about drug tests. Uh, Marquise Johnson up in this thing was good, bro. St. Cruising up in here. You know what I mean? Um, but still, Hawkins thinks that he believes that Lovejoy would have beaten Nathan Gorman. Would have been a good fight, man. Just based off what I have seen from Chris. Heavy again, he's heavy-handed, and I know Nathan Gorman wants to work the body and get close. So fireworks are just bound to happen in a style matchup like that. Let me see here. Charles Lambo's mark was good, bro. Jay West. I don't know if I said what's up to you boys. What's good? Um, Official agents say Miller just needs to get in the ring. Yeah, if they cleared him or he's back, shit, get him up in there, man. He needs to jump on in on his action. What are we waiting for? GG was good. Yeah, I could have swore. Yeah, Stormy B Man's up in here. What's good, bro? He says, "Salute, Mr. Boxing. I'm looking to speak behind the scenes regarding appearing on." All right, bro. Just email me. It's Mr. Boxing 2 day at Gmail. So Mr. Boxing, the number two, and then day at Gmail. Just email me, bro. We go ahead, chop it up. It's a couple shows, man, that I really need to make my rounds to be on. I want to be on your show. I got to get on my man D Style show or his channel. I haven't been on there in a while, and me and Blood Boxing got something in the works, man. So definitely got to make my rounds. Damon Hennig says, "Salute, Mr. Boxing. Is this going to be your regular time from here on out? And Happy New Year's, brother, to you and your family." Well, likewise to you, bro. Um, I can't say that. I can't say this is gonna be my regular time. What I will say is, over the last like 3 weeks, bro, last month, I've been consistent making videos pretty much every day going live. So I will say, for the most part, it will be every day. I'm just not sure on the time slot. It just depends on what's going on. Today I gave my boys a day off. I usually right now they're off of school, so I'm able to train them twice a day. We're doing 2 a days with the basketball training. So since we had this morning off, I'm just going live. You know what I mean? it just depends, bro. Like with me training them and they got practice and games, but I will go live every day. At least that will be the goal, is to go live every day, but I'm not sure what time slot. So I'm gonna give y'all something, man. It might not be at a certain time every day, but and I know a lot of the brothers are doing that and shouts out to them, but just with my schedule, it's just hard to do that, man. Sheldon Holmes up in here, what's good, bro? Urine Carter says, what is your top 5 fights to make in 2020? I'm assuming you're talking about just the heavyweights. But shit, just some non-heavyweight stuff real quick though. Devin Haney versus Tank Davis, Lomachenko, any mixture of them dudes will be a good for me. Obviously, I want to see Spence and Crawford. I want to see fucking Crawford versus any PBC welterweight. Um, Wilder, AJ. I still want to see Jarrell Miller versus Dillian White. Been want to see that for years. Kownacki versus Brazil. Um, that's about 5 right there, right? 2 non-heavyweights and then 3 heavyweight fights. You know what I mean? So, and let me say this. I know somebody, well, did you trying to hide Wilder from Dillian White? No, I want to see Dillian White and Wilder too, but I would love to see White versus Miller as well. I've been wanting to see that for 5 years. You know what I mean? But Wilder, White, Wilder, AJ, uh, Brazil, Kownacki. You know what I mean? Matthew Valentine says salute. Who was Kownacki fighting? All right, let me go ahead and well, let me see. Corey Yellowman Jackson, what's good, bro? Say what's up to everybody, man. Rob Plant, okay, he's talking. He says, Mr. B, what is this Jupiter talking about? Loaded gloves. Does he have any evidence for this? Oh boy. Look, with that situation, man, is either you believe the dude is clean as a whistle, he'll never cheat. Why would he do that? His gloves were inspected. You guys are putting out fake news. What else? You have no evidence. Give me videotape. If you don't have videotape of him getting taped up, then I don't want to hear. If you're on that side of the fence, I'm not here to change your mind. But if you're on the side of the fence where, hey man, uh, Team Revis, the look, man, Russ Abner came out and talked about it. Shout out to my man D Style. I think I saw my man D Style up in here. Did I see D Style up in here? I did. D Style says, welterweight boxing fans, what's the deal? D Style, I'm telling you, bro, it's gonna be. I seen your little thing you put up in your community section, bro. Heavyweight is king, man. It's gonna be king in 2020. Trust me. Trust and believe. It ain't gonna be welterweight boxing fan, what's the deal? It's gonna be heavyweight boxing fan, what's the deal this year? But D Style had an interview, or was it Joe Habib, or had an interview talking to the trainer of Oscar Rivas, and they said that those gloves he got in there with, that they didn't see him put the motherfuckers on. So I don't know what more evidence you need besides his team. Now, if you're the type that you want to see a videotape of everything, then okay, what it is what it is, man. If that's the case, like um, it is what it is, man. I'm not, that type of shit, man. That's like, you know, if you come in the room, and I think I heard my man 78 use one of these type of analogies, but if you come in the room and you look in the wastebasket and there's a used condom in there full of fucking semen and your girl's laying in the bed, do you need videotape? I mean, you know what I mean? Like, do you need videotape, or is it kind of, goes without saying? You dig what I'm saying? But I don't think Russ Abner, I haven't known Russ Abner to be some liar or be some conniving type person throwing allegations and rumors out there. You know what I mean? And then the interview that Joe Habib did with, I forgot the guy's name, maybe D Style is still in here. Um, they did an interview with the dude's trainer, man. So if they're saying it, bro, like, when have you known for those people to throw out allegations and rumors and to try to destroy Dillian? Like, people are on this like crusade, like Dillian White is just being treated so bad, and the boxing world is doing him so wrong. And I don't see it like that, man. I don't know where this is coming. This kind of borderline reminds me of the Povetkin thing, man. Like when that shit was going on Povetkin, like, and it's so funny because it always revolves around Deontay Wilder. Now, this is another guy that's being treated so wrong, and they're just holding him back, and they're protecting Wilder from this guy. Like, boy, some of these narratives and storylines just amaze me, man. Like, Bro, did you not see the dude that stepped in the ring in Saudi Arabia? Who the fuck would be scared of him? And this is no disrespect to Dillian White. I'm just saying, like, what heavyweight would be scared of him? Like, I don't know, man, but it is what it is. Jared Casher was good, man. Uh, I'm gonna let y'all cook on that, man. If y'all, it is what it is, bro. My opinion is mine, yours is yours, and I'm definitely like I always say, I use it as my cliche. I'm not here to change your mind. You know what I mean? That's definitely what I'm not here to do. So if you believe that he's being treated wrong, it is what it is. Um, Punch quote up in here was good. Punch quote. Carlos Henrinica, he says Wilder got to get past Fury first, right? Yeah, of course. In no way am I downplaying Tyson Fury. I'm favoring Wilder, but Tyson Fury ain't gonna fool me. He may fool a lot of people. That motherfucker ain't gonna fool me, man. Even though he's bipolar in my opinion, or he has bipolar traits in my opinion, like I told Rob Plant earlier when we were messaging each other, going back and forth in one of my videos. I believe the dude has bipolar traits like a motherfucker, man. But he's not gonna fool me. The dude's a damn good fighter. You dig what I'm saying? Lawrence Wayne was good, bro. He says was good. Don't if you mention this, or you don't know if I mentioned this, but Frank Sanchez will be on the Kownacki card in a step up first fight under Team Canelo. I didn't know that, but I did mention Frank Sanchez as a fighter that Christopher Lovejoy said that he won't fight. He said that on his Instagram. But appreciate that news, bro. So Frank Sanchez, up and coming, will be on the Kownacki undercard. Now, let me talk about Kownacki real quick. Now, Kownacki, man, even no, I noticed it in the Spilka fight, and there was another one of his other fights where I noticed it. Maybe it was the Lago Kaladze fight, Washington fight, Martin fight. But when he's at the Barclays, he has a nice little Polish crowd there. That's why I think if he positions himself to where he's gets his shot against Wilder, and Wilder has to get past everybody. But I do believe if Kownacki remains undefeated, let's say in the next year, and Wilder, all this shit's like if, and if. But if Wilder remains champion and he needs a fight, I do believe that they should fight the Barclays because Kownacki's going to bring a huge crowd of Polish fans there, bro. Like he does it right now. It's like a up and coming contenderish type guy. Um, and the last I checked, New York and Illinois have the highest population of Polish people. You dig what I'm saying? So he's definitely going to bring the crowd, and he's from Brooklyn. You know what I mean? He's definitely so. He has a nice little following there in Brooklyn, man, and he's an entertaining fighter. So from the names they threw out there on boxing scene, Ortiz, Ruiz, Hunter Brazil, Rivas, Ajagba, Joyce, Kaufman, he's going to bring a good crowd. You're not going to have to go looking for him in the ring. I would have liked for him to be on the undercard of the Wilder Fury. You know what I mean? But he's going to do his own thing, man, in a headline March 7th. Right now, there's no opponent, and that's what we're waiting for. So I just wanted to give you guys that news, man. But then speaking of Ruiz, I hear that Dillian White, they're talking about that Ruiz may be a possibility for Dillian White. So let me see what else y'all cooking on up in here. My man Mark Wonderlick, he says Utah in the house. Salute, Mr. Boxer. Salute, bro. Um, my man Trap House Boxing up in this thing. He says Adam Kownacki said he doesn't know if he's ready for Wilder yet. Well, these boys be saying they want that fight, man. Then you ask them about the fight, they'll fuck around and tell you don't think they ready yet. Ain't that funny, man? For somebody that is viewed as not having any skill and any of this and any of that, and he's fought 40 bums and or 39 bums, whatever, and an old man and a guy that jumped off the couch and Tyson Fury, all this shit, but then they'll find a way to say in a roundabout way that they're not ready. That's what just lets me know they're just full of shit sometimes when they talk, man. You know what I mean? Like, well, bro, I thought he was just a bum. I mean, well, he is, but I'm just not ready yet. Sure. I wonder why you're not ready. Doesn't have anything to do with that right hand, does it? Nah, I ain't got nothing to do with that right hand. You need more experience. I get it. I get it. Um, my man Curtis Anderson up in here was good, bro. Salute to you and yours. Lawrence Williams says, yeah, the Polish fans come out for their heavyweights. I will never forget how they rode for Galata in the bowl rematch. It was epic up in there. Bro. Oh, Rob Planey has been diagnosed? Okay, well shit. I knew he had the traits. I mean, you can see that from a mile away. Talking about Tyson Fury. So he says that's what he said in his book anyway. Okay, well shit. He definitely didn't fool me. I mean, just looking at the man, you know he got some bipolar traits, and it's Tyson Fury I'm talking about. Um, Now, I will say that it's amazing to see him harness that and get to the level that he has gotten to. But like I always say, man, to be a fighter, bro, you got to have some crazy in you. I don't give a fuck how you come across. You could be well spoken, well mannered, all that. But deep down, you got some type of rage. You got something in you that's making you crazy. Because getting punched in the face for a living, yeah, that's pretty fucking crazy. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like yeah, that's pretty fucking crazy, man. Um, so yeah, this is a dude, like I said, man, 1 minute he'll talk about you think he'll damn near about to start crying talking about his life. Then the next minute he's the king of the world. Then the next minute he dresses up like Batman. Then the next minute he's a fat man. Then the next minute, you know what I mean? Like with him, man, it's he's the gypsy king, and then the next minute, uh I don't want this anymore. Then I mean, the dude is all over the place, man. But like I said though, sometimes guys' personalities, they have things in their personalities that help them along the way, man. You know what I mean? And Tyson Fury just falls in that category. Shit, Mike Tyson was like that. There's a lot of fighters that are like that, man. But Mike Tyson was another guy where you ain't know 1 minute if you should feel sorry for the dude or you should be afraid of the dude. You know what I mean? Like, let me see. See what up in this thing. See some activities up in here. Let's see what's going on. Let me see what's going on. It's not letting me view what's going on. Warren Williams, he says, can't wait for Wilder versus Fury shit. Same here. Adam Fay, he says, IFL did a brilliant interview with Ross post fight. The D Style says, pulling up a Vekin. He says, pulling up a Vekin coming out on Vault soon. Yeah, I seen your other ones. You pulled out some old vids, man. I seen you put those up. Um, man, probably my first candid, well, one of the first videos that I went completely off, bro, like that I went just ham on, like where people were leaving comments like, damn, Mr. Boxing, I ain't never heard him talk like this. You know what I mean? Was when that Povetkin thing went down. And I remember I did a video and all I did was just say, hey man, you know, heavyweight boxing fans, what's the deal? Giving you some news you can use concerning the heavyweight division. According to ESPN, Dan Raphael, per Dan Raphael, Povetkin has failed his test, Meldonium, blah, blah, blah. Man, the comments on that video, bro, I went ham on my reply video, them comments. And I think I put warning in the caption because I knew it was going to catch a lot of my viewers off guard. But I was just pissed, man. Like, hold on, man. So y'all mad at me for just giving the news of what's out to the whole fucking boxing world. This isn't something I'm making up. This isn't something I'm throwing a bait or a clickbait title out to get some attention. This shit is being reported everywhere. And I'm just speaking about, man, people are crying and you know, they want videotape proof and all this weird stupid shit, man. But I knew what it was. It was just a hate towards Wilder. Simply. I mean, that's just what it is. I know, no, Mr. Box, you know, that's what it is, man. That's exactly what it was. Exactly. Jonathan Roos says, Mr. Boxon, what heavyweight from the 90s do you think would do best in this current era? Shit, there's a handful of them, bro. First one that comes to mind is Lennox Lewis. He fits right in with this era. Riddick Bowe fits right in with this era. Ray Mercer, uh, there's a lot of them, bro. Andrew Galata, I think, would fit well in this era. Hopefully, he doesn't hit nobody in the nuts. But him, David Tua, Mike Tyson, even Mike Tyson after prison. I mean, shit, the whole era of heavyweights over there would have fit well in this era, man. Um, yes, the majority of these guys are tall, 6'7", 6'8", 6'9", but they all kind of vary in weight. Wilder isn't a 260 pounder. He's a 210, 200 and anywhere from 210 to 220 type of heavyweight. That's Evander Holyfield weight. That's Mike Tyson weight. Now he is very fucking tall. He's 6'7" with a long reach. Um, but you had some tall guys in the 90s, man. Jamil McCline was coming around in the late 90s, and Michael Grant, guys like that. Henry Akinwande, remember that motherfucker? You know what I mean? So pretty much the whole era, man. Ika Buche, I mean, shit, a lot of them, bro. So I don't know who would do the. If I had to put my money on who would do the best, I would say Lennox, because I think he was the best out the '90s. So I will go with the best guy to do the best. You dig what I'm saying? Um, I'll go with Lennox. Then I go with Holyfield second. The real deal. BC says White versus Brazil will go to full 12. It'd be a slugfest, man. Could you imagine, bro? That shit, they would be so sloppy, breathing on each other, wild swings and misses, but highly entertaining. That'd be an entertaining fight. Lawrence Williams, I think y'all chopping it up with each other. Let me see what my man Trap House said. He says then he said he didn't want to fight Brazil because then they will compare his KOs to Wilder. I see. Okay, y'all chopping it up. Um, Lawrence Williams also he said I remember when Parker came to Alabama to watch the Washington fight to set up a unification. Seen that right hand and said no, like red pops off Friday. You want some of this, so man? No, I told your ass. That's how. Yeah, it was like that, bro. Then it turned into, oh no, he was just over there really just to support Israel Gono because Gono fought Brazil in a classic heavyweight fight of that decade, of the past decade, in my opinion. And it was a classic. You know what I mean? That was a classic slugfest. Um, he was there to support Israel Gono when he fought Brazil. Uh, had the same, they got this or had the same trainers. So I get why he was there, but he gave us the hope of they were going. That's when people say, why hasn't Wilder unified? It's like, bro, have you been around like watching what's going on? Why he hasn't unified, or you just talking shit? Why didn't he unify with Parker? It's like, well, dude, it takes two to get in there, man. Like, I mean, damn, bro. Like, the dude came to the fight, Parker. They were in the dressing room after the fight, like this, taking a picture with each other, doing this shit, having us thinking that the fight's going to happen. Then Parker, not Wilder, Parker says, I'm not ready for Wilder or AJ. Then he turns around and fights AJ. You could say it's because of more money. Okay, well then that's why he didn't fight Wilder, because it wasn't enough money. Whatever. It is what it is, man. Like Charles Martin, the same thing. And like I said before, people say, well, Mr. Boxing, if they really cared about Wilder, if Heyman and those guys really cared about Wilder, they would have made that Wilder versus Charles Martin fight. I believe it should have happened. I actually came out with a video saying, dude, we need this unification fight in America between two Americans. This is great, especially coming from years of not having an American heavyweight champion. This would have been awesome. But at the same time, Al Heyman does he Al Heyman does the best business for said fighter. So he has to handle each fighter individually to get them the best offer. And him and Wilder wasn't one of the best. One was not one of the best. The best offer was Anthony Joshua. I remember when that shit came out, they picked Parker and AJ. They went with AJ because Eddie Hearn had the bag. So Al Heyman, being a smart man, seeing that, dude, they're willing to pay you this much. You need, as being your advisor, you need to take that fight, that money. You know what I mean? So Charles Martin looked elsewhere. It wasn't like Wilder was like, no, I don't want to fight you, man. No, I'm going to duck you. No, it wasn't that. And that was around the time, if you guys remember, when everybody was running around saying Povetkin and or when Povetkin and Wilder was still trying to get it on. And they were kind of going back and forth and they were scheduling around each other, Povetkin and Wilder. In my opinion, I thought they started to schedule around each other like that 2015-ish, 2016-ish gap. You dig what I'm saying? So, or at least up until the fight actually got made. But that's when Wilder ended up fighting Spilka. You know what I mean? So it is what it is, man. It takes two to want to get up in there with these unification fights. D Style says, quarter of the decade. Let's go, champ. It might be, man. That shit was ringing bells, bro. For about 3 years, that's what made my intro. And that's why, man, I need to get more savvy with how to do these lives and shit, man. Because I want shit flashing at the bottom and at the top of my lives, too. Yeah, hey, man, y'all got to hook me up, man. You and BFTB 78, all y'all, man, D Style, that know how to, y'all need to give me some insight on how to do all that, man. But I want my intro to play. Like, I love my intro, my Let's Go Champ. Man, I love that damn intro to Shannon. It's Shannon Briggs' voice, but I love that intro, man. That's like the only reason why I really do I edit video so I can have my intro playing, but I want my intro playing, man. Oh my man, Mr. Natty Turner One up in here. Hey, y'all go subscribe to my man, Mr. Natty Turner One, man. One of the original. When I bring up guys that's been on here for 10 years and 10 plus years, I bring up Blood and D Style and Haplotype and a plethora of other guys, but I always forget to bring up my man, Natty Turner One, man. I don't know how I'll be forgetting that, man. But Natty Turner One, one of the first guys I've done a collab with back in the Uvo days when we were doing videos on Uvo, looking like the damn Brady Bunch. It'll be like 6 damn boxes up in there with everybody's face, and we'll be chopping up by boxing. D Style, Joe Habib, Blood, Carcino. When Carcino used to make a lot of boxing videos. Uh, Gambino. I seen Gambino made a live the other day. He was one of the funniest dudes on YouTube. Funny as hell. Um, just bring back a lot of memories, man. Calix boxing, uh, Agrippa guys, man. You know what I mean? That was shit. 10 years. That's crazy. 10 years ago, man. But it's good to see my man, Mr. 9021, up in here, man. And it's crazy because my man Kurt Sugar up in here. We call him Kurt Sugar, Kurt Anderson, who has one of the best minds that I've came across as far as chopping up the history. But we used to also call my man Mr. Natty Turner the Black Burt Sugar though back in the day. You dig what I'm saying? So salute to all y'all, man. It's good to see family up in here, man. You know what I mean? Um, Adam Fahey says, well, they could have both went their separate ways and both took care of mandatories. I'm not sure if you're talking to me or not, bro. I'm not sure if you're talking about the Parker. Okay, you are. You says correct. Had what Love Wilder versus Parker unification bout at that current time. We can both agree they both wouldn't have got what they deserve for that. Okay, he's talking to Lawrence. Um, no problem, Mr. Not Attorney One, man. No problem, bro. You definitely deserve some recognition, man. Definitely, bro. And let me go ahead and do this for you while you up in here. Add you as a mod. Been on this dude for 10 years on here. Definitely got to have him on there. St. Cruz and says, I just subbed to Mr. 9021. Yeah, go subscribe. He don't make as many boxing videos as he used to, man. But he was definitely one of the guys, man, when I first got on here 10 years ago, that was putting out excellent content. You know what I mean? So definitely got to salute the family. Yeah, Trap House, just like Klitschko chose AJ. And then furthermore, and this is something else that I brought up when Klitschko came out with that little teaser, because it was a teaser that he gave us about, hey, if I come back, who should I fight? And then he put Joshua, Fury, and Wilder up in there. And guess who all the fans, well, majority of the fans voted for by a long shot. I went by the likes because he had it on Twitter. I think it was Twitter or Instagram. I think it was Twitter. So I just went by the likes. And him versus Fury in a rematch had over 20,000 likes. Him and Wilder, which I was surprised Wilder was second because I thought AJ was going to be first because he's very popular on social media. But Wilder, Klitschko had like 8.4 thousand likes, and then him and AJ had like 6,000 likes. So, but then again, even like I said in that video, so if he was to come back and say, well, hey, I want to fight Fury because that's what the fans want to see, are we then going to say, oh, Why couldn't Wilder fight him? Because he didn't want to fuck. Because the fans obviously don't want to see him fight Wilder, according to Twitter. You dig what I'm saying? Like, it takes two, man. It takes two. And on top of all of this shit, the legendary Emmanuel Stewart said in 2012, I believe it was, he said, hey, man, y'all gonna have to be on the lookout. And this is on YouTube. I know a lot of y'all seen this. This kid, Deontay Wilder, and this kid, Tyson Fury, they're gonna be the future. He said that in 2012. So if Manny Stewart saw this, and this when Manny Stewart was having all, you know how Klitschko do at his camps. He'll bring all them cats in: Jarrell Miller, uh, Dillian White, Malik Scott, Gerald Washington, Robert Helenius, David Price. He'll bring all them cats in. Michael Hunter. You dig him? Man, you guys know how his camps used to be. So all these motherfucking heavyweights around, all of them. Emmanuel Stewart is seeing all types of heavyweights every motherfucking other week. But he brought up Fury and Wilder. That man was a genius, man. You know what I mean? So when people say no skill, no, okay, that's what your mouth say. But if Emmanuel Stewart saw something back then, come on, man. You know what I mean? Come on. Classics, Robert Lawrence Williams. Them joints was classic, man. You talking about those boxing after darks? Tua versus David Izon and Oleg Maskayev versus Hasim Rockman. Classics, man. Yo, Maskayev was in some little brawls, man. Whether he was getting knocked the fuck out by David Tua or, you know what I mean, he was knocking out Rockman or whatever, man. Them was classics, bro. Just classics, man. That's all I really can say. Just classic. My man Michael Johnson, Boxing Talk and More. Y'all go subscribe to him as well, man. What's good, bro? He says AJ is a one upper. He know now Well Wilder couldn't unify. Yeah, man. Like, that's one thing I am noticing about Joshua. Now he's back to himself. Now he's back to the fight has to be in the UK. He's just back to talking how he was prior to June 1st. You know what I mean? So he's a UK fighter, so why wouldn't he say he needs to be in the UK, right? But he's back to talking like that again. So no surprise to me. Oh, here we go. Here we go. I'm not even going to address it, man. Hey, bro, if that's it's one of the last couple comments that came in, but okay, bro, whatever you say, man. I'm not even going to address that. Whatever you say. Uh, Let me see who else probably joined that I missed. H. Khan says the fans don't want him to lose to Wilder by knockout. I agree. I agree. Okay, I'm not sure what Triple G has to do with anything, but okay, Triple G. That's what's up. Uh, my man Hop up in here. What's good, Hop? Dre Finest up in here. I didn't forget you, bro. I see you up in here. So I see a lot of y'all chopping it up with each other. That's what's up. Yeah, Rob Plant. You say you making chicken and all that. Hey, bro, there ain't no excuses, man. Make a video. Make a damn video. Nah, don't give me that. Nah, you better make a video, man. I got four fucking kids, bro. You know what I mean? Own a business on the side, work. Nah, man. You better make a video, man. Quit having them damn excuses. Yo, sometimes I like to um it's easy reading comments. My man Michael Johnson says, how can AJ be number one when he ain't fought Wilder or Fury? That's a good point. Um Arjun Gunnathy, what's good, bro? Let me go ahead and do this for him, man. He been a loyal follower, man. Follower of the channel. You know what I mean? Let me do that for him. There you go. When Michael Johnson said, nigga, right now, I'm barbecuing ribs right now. You know what I mean? Um, Trying to see if I miss it. I see y'all just chopping up. H. Khan says, Mr. Boxing, of course the casuals know more than Manny Stewart. I don't listen to these dumb casuals, bro. Yeah, and when you bring stuff like that up, it's like, well, um, uh, you're a fanboy. You know, they'll just say some just shit out of nowhere that makes no sense. You know what I mean? Your channel sucks. You know what I mean? They won't even bring up, well, what do you think about what Emmanuel Stewart said? You know, the trainer that probably has forgot more than me and you probably know about the sport. Yeah. So what do you think about what he said? Uh, your channel sucks. You know, they'll just say just some weird shit. David Watson was good, man. My man Stormy Beeman says Rockman always had bad shit happening to him, knocked out the ring, and knots on his head. I know. And yo, the thing is, Rockman will be in every fight. Every fight. I'm trying to think. Well, not the old Rockman when he started fighting Povetkin and all that, but like that Rockman in the late 90s, early 2000s ish, he will be in every fight, man, doing his thing. You know what I mean? And then he'll just find a way to get knocked out. But he was an entertaining fighter to watch, though, man. The Rock was an entertaining motherfucker to watch, and I'm glad that The Rock, he has his sons coming up, but I'm glad that he's in Michael Hunter's corner, man. Um, you know what I mean? And you can tell the relationship is kind of like the young up and comer with the OG that knows a lot about the game, that's been at the top, been at the top of the top, been at the lows of the lows. You know what I mean? So I like the fact that he's imputing everything that he knows into Michael Hunter. You know what I mean? So but yeah, man, I remember that fight against Holyfield, bro. I was actually in college when that happened, and we were actually um, was I in Denver? We had a game in Denver, I think, bro. I forget, man. I think we had a game in Denver, and instead of this, how much of a boxing fan I was. If we had Saturday games and they were away, we had to travel to a different state or some shit. That Saturday, my teammates they would try to sneak out, and at that I think they tried to go downtown Denver. They tried to sneak out, go downtown Denver. Man, I stayed in the room to watch the fight. You know what I mean? Like I was that type of fan, man. I remember another time I was trying to record. I was trying to record the fight. It was Nassim Hamed versus was it when he fought Barrera? And I'm glad I didn't, because some told me, man, Barrera might fuck him up. So, and my teammates, they boxing fans, but they, especially around that time, like that 01, 2000, 01, whenever they fought, you know, it's just more like if Mike Tyson's fighting, they'll watch it or something like that, Roy Jones or something, but they wasn't really into it, how, obviously, the way I am. And I would miss a lot of Saturday nights going out, or I would have, somebody pick me up and take me out to wherever everybody was hanging out, but I would miss a lot of them joints, especially in college. I remember when Mike Tyson fought, I just got a lot of stories, man, of like going to game, like being in my college games. I'm a starter for being in the game, thinking about like, damn, man, I wonder if Zab beat Costa Zoo. You know what I mean? Like thinking about this shit, man. Taking the game serious, but whenever I had like a spare moment of thinking, I would think about the fight. Like, damn, I know Tyson's fighting ATN tonight. Wonder if he got him up out of there. Get up on the team bus, text my homeboy that's taped the fight for me. You know what I mean? He used to fuck around with me sometimes, be like, hey man, damn shame what happened to Mike. I'm like, damn, Mike lost? Get the tape, or once you get home, ESPN is running shit on the ticker, you see that Mike won. But the whole bus ride to the fucking back to our gym or back home, sometime a 3-4 hour bus ride, I'm thinking Mike Tyson lost the damn fight. And my homeboy used to fuck with me like that. But yeah, I was one of them damn boxing fans, man. Like a lot of you. Uh Trap House says I like Hunter's pretty solid. I like Michael Hunter, bro. Let me see what else, man. D Drano up in here. Hop says Denver. Shout out Colorado, my home state. Yes, you have the Avalanche as your avatar, so definitely I know you're from Denver. And we also had a game. I played in Sterling, Colorado as well too before. Tua, hey, y'all see y'all talking about David Tua. Tua has some crazy power, man. I've only seen Tua stopped, was in the amateurs, like a real stoppage in the amateurs. I think he fought It was the Cuban. Felix Savan stopped him. I believe it was Savan that stopped him in Amber. It's on YouTube. But hold on, my man Not Roger says Tua lacked some skills to me, but his power was crazy. I think he had good inside fighting skills. He was never going to be the bounce off the back foot, jab you to death, circle type of dude. Yes, Hop. You telling Lawrence Williams that Tua's KO over Ruiz, that shit was highlight real devastating. The way his head knocked off the canvas and his eye, I mean, that was a devastating knockout. His knockout against Michael Moore like went down in sections. It was like his legs, then his thighs, then his back, then his, I mean, he just like went down like it was a movie. Crazy power. That's why I look at a guy like Ike, man, and like, how the fuck was Ike taking that? And Ike was taking them bitches like nothing, like you holding your little newborn up and they slapping you in the face and all. He was taking it like that. Trap House. Do I think Povetkin wants to run it back? I think Povetkin's good with that draw, and I think he's looking for something else that's high profile, like a Dillian White type of fight. I think Hunter wants to run it back. Oh yeah, Mr. Natty Turner. Yeah, bro. You just ain't been on the lives, you know what I mean? But had you been coming on the lives last year, I would have wrenched you up, bro. Definitely, man. You family, man. I've been, like I said, bro, been knowing you for 10 years on here, man. So let me see here. Uh my man Kurt Anderson says, I wish you can see this old school boxing gym in Jersey City, New Jersey. Mike Tyson and Turo Gotti used to being there heavy. Is it still up? Well, obviously you said, but is it still up or is it just a shell of itself nowadays? Because a lot of the old school gyms, man, are just going by the wayside. Now there are some new gyms that are being developed, but a lot of these new gyms are adding in, and I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with this, but a lot of new gyms are adding in MMA and MMA and they're crossing over. Crossover gyms are great, you know what I mean? Because that's where combat sports are going in today's era, But I'm an old soul, man. Like I'll be 40 this year, but I damn near come across like I'm 65. I'm just an old soul when it comes to certain things, man. And I like the old, dusty, sweaty, like Rocky 3. I like them type of gyms, man. You know what I mean? Now, I want them to be able to pass a damn building inspection, but at the same time, I like that grit. You might, just I like that type of atmosphere, man. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying that places like that can't be refurbished to some degree, but you need those staples. You know what I mean? In the boxing community here in the States. Um, it disappointed me that the Crunk gym, the regular Crunk gym is gone. It disappointed me when some of these great gyms are just gone. You know what I mean? I even heard that the heavyweight factory got shut down. And to me, that was gaining a lot of traction. I know Klitschko used to go there a lot. Shannon Briggs was making it a home, putting up a whole bunch of video just in the last few years. Evander Holyfield would frequent the gym. Riddick Bowe would frequent the gym. Uh, I like things like that, man. And when they take them away, it's kind of like, why? You know what I mean? You would think somebody would step in and see the significance and see the importance of those gyms, step in, buy it, and keep it going instead of buying it, tearing it down to build a damn Costco over it or whatever. You know what I mean? Some type of whatever house or whatever it is over it. But time goes on, right? All right, bro. I'm gonna definitely check it out, man. Yo, speaking of just old venues and old things, is the Blue Horizon still up out there in Philly? I don't know why that just came to my mind, but I remember watching the Tuesday night fights on the USA Network, and damn near all the fights would not, well, majority of them, a lot of them would be at the damn Blue Horizon. Is that still up? The Blue Horizon out there in Philly? I don't know. That just came to my mind, but St. Cruiser says 2/3 of the old boxing gyms are gone. Yeah. Is that the original Gleason's that's still in New York? Is that the original Gleason's or is that a different Gleason's? Anybody knows any of this, man? Y'all let me know. If not, I mean, obviously I can look it up on Google, but I'm just seeing if anybody knows off the top of their head. Tone Banger says Lovejoy versus Miller, make it happen. Been waiting to see Chris in action. Same here. Adam Fahey says Cabell versus Takum, both top rank would be all right, or Cabell versus Jennings. Yeah, and Cabell is trying to make his US invasion. Whenever I go watch him or see his videos on Instagram, he always hashtags, uh, you know, great year, whatever the hell hashtag the USA. You know what I mean? So I know he's trying to make his presence over here. It's a different Gleason's Curtis. Okay, yeah, man. BC says let's hope they pass an inspection. Um, Cabello versus Wallen. Hey, Trap House, I was calling for that. Now, before Wallen fought Fury, that was the fight I was calling for Wallen was the Cabello fight. So shit. And now that I seen what he did against Fury, and Cabello now has him a decent win over Chisora, and he beat Radinko. I think he dominated Radinko better than Povetkin, Lucas Brown, and Huey Fury. So I'll be down with that one. Adam Fahey says Povetkin will try cash out with white pay-per-view if he can manage that. And that's what I just said too. I think he's looking for a high-profile fight like that. I don't think he want no more Michael Hunter. Not that he's scared because he was hurting Hunter, but just kind of like, shit, I got to draw. I ain't trying to fight that young man again. If anything, if I'm gonna get back in the ring, let it be for the most money against a higher profile type of fighter in his home country, and that would be Dillian White in this case. Hop said, Mr. Boxing, who's on your list of heavyweights that never reached their full potential? Two of mine are Riddick Bowe and Andrew Galata, also Akabe Abuche. Damn, bro, you taking up all the answers. Shit, Hop, you taking all the answers, bro. Definitely those three. Um, I will also add in there my favorite late 90s prospect contenderish type of fighter was Kirk Johnson. The weight gain and the injuries set him back. That was not the real Kirk Johnson. Well, it was Kirk Johnson, but it wasn't to me the best Kirk Johnson winner against Vitaly. Now, could he have beaten Vitaly even if he was at the 225, 220? Being that what I've seen Vitaly become, probably not. But I think he would have put up a way better effort and a way better fight and gave himself a way better chance to look a lot better and get himself more paydays and more high profile fights. Um, Kirk Johnson definitely one of them, man. Um, I'm trying to think because you brought up some good examples yourself. I have to really sit down and go decade by decade, man. I have to go decade by decade with that one. Let me see what y'all talking about, man. We've been here on damn near an hour. Uh, my man Kurt says, Kurt Anderson said, did you ever see the fight between Alex Stewart and Ezra Sellers? I don't think I have, bro. Stormy B Man bringing up an old school Ice Cold. I remember Ice Cold cruiserweight that went up to heavyweight. I remember him. He was like a staple on like the ESPN cards back in the day. I remember Cole. You know what I mean? Light skinned, tall. He's like a tall cruiser too, about 6'5", something like that. I remember him bringing up some old school cats. Ooh, Aderi Pennant says fantasy matchup: Larry Holmes versus Ike Abebuche. Who wins? Well, shit, bro. To be honest with you, Ike would have had a hard time dealing with high top fade Larry. Not even saying the Larry in the late 70s, early 80s, but even the high top fade Larry would have gave him some problems. I could see Ike eking out a decision against Larry, probably just outworking him and getting a 12-round decision. Um, but hey, man, looking at that Ray Mercer fight though, he would have gave Ike some problems. Even high top fade Larry would have gave Ike some problems. But I'm gonna say, and Larry is one of my. You guys I always say this. You guys know this already. My three favorite fighters of all time, and it's like 1A, 1B, 1C is Holmes, Ali, and Foreman. Okay, so I'm a huge Holmes fan, but I could see Ike eking out a decision. Lewis Tucker was a good one. Tone Banger says Alex Stewart was a very underrated heavyweight. Yeah, he had two good fights with Holyfield. He got blown out the water against Mike Tyson. You know what I mean? But he was a guy that was coming up. Um, He was another guy that was coming up and had like that crazy record with like 20 wins with 20 knockouts and that type of thing. You know what I mean? He was a really good fighter for that era. He was if you go look at the rankings of Ring Magazine, he was a top 10 fighter at one point. St. Cruz, and I agree. Yes, he did. He gave Tone Bangers, you're right. He did give Foreman hell. Had that dude looking like a pumpkin face, man. Gave that dude a pumpkin head. And Foreman's one of my favorites. Gave him a pumpkin head. Mark Wonderlink up in here. Adam Faye says would rate Kownacki versus Rivas both top 10 WBC. I'd love to see that fight, man. Trap House says I wouldn't mind seeing Taco versus Dubois. He'll definitely bring some pressure. Definitely. St. Cruiser says Charles Brewer was my favorite Tuesday Night Fights fighter. Mine's was now not talking about the Larry Holmes comeback and the high profile guys, but like the under the radar guys that to me made those shows. You're going with Corey Brewer or Charles Brewer. I'm sorry. I'm gonna go with my man Kevin Pompey. He was like the he was like a and shouts out to his family because I actually put a video. I actually did a video about this topic with Kevin Pompey, and I think it was one of his family members, man, that appreciated the video, and I appreciate them for coming and watching it. But he was like, in his own way, and from my eyes, he was like a welterweight Holyfield to me, man. Always went to war, always showed up in shape. You know, he was always he'll always be in a running for like the, you know, the like the USBA or the NABF. Y'all remember when those titles actually meant something back in the day? Yes, of course, it wasn't the WBC or the IBF or the WBA because the WBO was around, but it wasn't looked at as one of the major sanctioning bodies back then. But remember those days, man, when like when the NABF actually meant something and the USBA meant something on like Tuesday night fights. I don't know, y'all. I just miss those days, man. I just miss those days, man. H. Khan says, Mr. Boxing, you're a crackhead for boxing too, skipping parties to watch the fight. By the way, I love Larry Holmes, very underrated, all time great, and will hold a title today. Hey, man, I might give Larry a chance, bro. Larry can still flick that jab out. You know what I mean? Hold on, y'all. Let me text my brother real quick. Yeah, text my little bro. All right, got him out the way. Um, but yeah, man, I miss those days, man. Hop says James Quick Tillers gave Tyson the Invincible version a very worthy challenge. Deserves more credit for that. Went the distance. Um, with went the distance when few were. Yeah, he gave Tyson hell up in there, man. Putting hand speed on him, holding him. He just knew how to survive. Mixed in with he was a pretty damn decent boxer himself, and he started off. And he was once upon a time an undefeated prospect guy that was looked at as somebody that can make some noise. You know what I mean? I remember watching him, man. That was like one of my first times as a kid just seeing like a black cowboy and shit, man. Like, I think it was the Tyson fight. It was one of his fights, man, where you know they do like the pre-show and shit, and he's like a black cowboy. I was like, damn, there's black cowboys. You know what I mean? Like, because I'm a city kid, man. So that was my first time seeing that type of shit. Uh, yeah, Trap House. He says shit now. He says shit now these days they're saying none of the belts mean anything. And there's just so many to the point, bro, where it's just like it's just getting laughable, man. Like when one sanctioning body literally is trying to claim it's one thing to have like your international like I understand sanctioning bodies having like their like second tier junior belts to work your way up. But when you're really trying to put out to us that that Manuel Char is a heavyweight champion of the world, come on, man. You dig what I'm saying? Or I don't like that type of shit, man. Where it's like a regular, super, interim. I mean, I think that's just too much. You know what I mean? I like the regional belts because the regional belts didn't mean you were the heavyweight champion. See, when you're the NABF, we knew that Tim Witherspoon wasn't the fucking heavyweight, or he was a heavyweight champion 2 times exactly. But you guys get what I'm saying. When they're fighting for those belts on Tuesday night fights, we're not viewing them as heavyweight champions. But we just know that that regional belt would mean that you're going to get a significant fight, probably your next fight, and work your way up to a title. You're probably right there for a title eliminator type thing. But we never looked at that as he's the heavyweight champ. Now you really have these dudes with secondary belts calling themselves champions. I forgot what fight it was last week. I think they got who the fuck was I watching, man? They had like one of the regular belts, and they're like, yeah, he's the heavyweight, or he's the champion. I'm like, dude, you know you ain't the fucking champion. Like, what? What? Crazy, man. Stormy B Man says Freddie Pacheco says some funny shit during the Holyfield Tillis fight. I could have punched him in the mouth. Also, yo, I remember one of the famous things from Pacheco, man, was when he was doing the yo, wasn't that the fight they fought in Reno, bro? Holyfield and Tillis. Did they fight in Reno? I'm about to get my Kurt Anderson on, man. Didn't they fight in Reno? I think they had that fight in Reno. But anyways, Pacheco, right? I remember he was doing the Tyson Botha. Okay, so yep. So I got that right. That fight wasn't Reno. But look, he was doing the Tyson Botha, right? And he's like, what the fuck was he saying, man? He was like, this is not look like the same Mike Tyson. Boom! Short right hand put both his ass to sleep as Freddie was talking shit. But he was being honest though, because Mike didn't look good, man, against Botha. Botha was sticking his tongue out, holding him, slapping him, like just doing a whole bunch of shit. You know how both these fight, he'll after every damn punch he threw. And Pacheco was saying something about how Mike wasn't doing something. Boom! It was like a Joe Louis short right hand, bro. Put his ass just collapsed. And then y'all know I was a huge Tyson fan back, and I was like, man, shut your ass up. There you go, Mike. Shut his punk ass up talking that shit. But Mike didn't look good though. He didn't. Being honest. Adira Pennis says Foreman versus Ike Abuche, Mr. Boxing. Well, y'all give me some hard ones. Yes, he did. Before I get to you, Pennis, yes, he did try to break his arm. And in the clinch, bro, he was twisting the fuck out of his arm, man. Um Abuche versus Foreman. It's hard to set aside my bias when we talk about my favorites, bro. When you bring up Foreman, Holmes, and Ali, but I will, you know what I mean? Because I got integrity. I think I'm gonna go with Ike, man. I just think Ike was a bad dude, man. That Ike was a bad dude, man. And especially around that time. Look, man, if Tommy Morrison can cleanly outbox him, if my man Alex Stewart can give him a pumpkin face, if Axel Schultz probably could have deserved a nod, man. I'm not even gonna lie. But then Foreman could pull a rabbit out the hat and fucking knock out Michael Moore. You know what I mean? I thought he beat Shannon Briggs. But just coupled with all those fights I've seen from Big George in that stage of his career, I'm gonna say Ike, man. I'm gonna say I could get the decision. I'm gonna say I could get the decision. Oh, my man, B Marsh boxing up in here. Let me do this for B Marsh, man. Another cat that I've been rocking with for years on here. Let me do that for him. What's good, B Marsh? Yeah, Trap House. Okay, so it was the tank fight that I seen. Yeah. So man, I mean, come on, man. Like Levi Khan says Chris Lovejoy not a real boxer. He's trolling. He went to prison last year. Just recently got out, 35 years old, and needs any type of clout, fame, or money he can get. Sorry, but that's facts. Well, I'm not privy to him going to or not going to jail. So if anybody from his camp or team is watching this, I'm just reading a comment that was given to me. I'm not privy to any of that. But what I do know is he is 18-0 with 18 knockouts. Um, and at this rate, bro, it seems like everybody is looking for clout. That's the new term these, the youngsters use, whatever. So But hey, man, there's a lot of cats that went to prison and got out and changed their life around, man. So I'm a big believer. And if somebody gets out of prison, whether it's fucking 2 weeks ago, 2 years ago, 2 decades ago, if they're getting out to make a change for themselves and doing something positive, they deserve a second chance, bro. I got family members that got out of prison that turned their lives around. You know what I mean? That deserve a second chance and doing a damn good job having that second chance. So I'm not one of these guys going to use you going to prison against you. Now, I know there's different levels of crimes, you know what I mean? But I'm just saying for a guy to get a second chance is what I'm saying. So if his second chance is getting into professional boxing, making a way and making a living for himself, and as of right now, he's 18-0 with 18 KOs. He's building steam and traction on social media. Even got me talking about him. To me, I look at that as a positive. Now, does that mean he's going to beat Jarrell Miller or all these guys he's calling out? No, but I like the fact that he seems self-made and he got himself in a position. You know what I mean? So that's my thoughts on it. Michael Johnson, boxing talking more. He says his uncle was locked up with Mike. He was locked up with Mike up in there in Indiana. That's where Mike was, right, in Indiana. Man, I remember that interview. I think Mike did with who interviewed him when he was locked up? Was it Larry King? But y'all know the interview I'm talking about. He was in prison. He had the white T-shirt on. He had the part in his hair. I think it was Larry King. I forget who interviewed him. But you could just tell from that interview, bro. I remember that interview. He was institutionalized in that interview. Curtis Anderson asked me, he says, "Do you know the story of William Guthrie?" No, I don't, bro. That's why I like having Kurt around, man, because he bring up gems that I don't know about. I do know a lot about. Let me go see my man EJ Boxing. Like y'all go subscribe to my man EJ Boxing Live as well. Um, do this for EJ. Add him as a mod. Been rocking with EJ for a while. What's good, EJ? But no, Kurt, I haven't, bro. I haven't. But that's why I like having you around, man, because you be dropping gems. H Con says, man, you bringing up an old school name, bro. The Dingaling man, Darnell Wood. I think he's damn near still fighting. He says was my favorite Tuesday night's fighter. I'm serious. He had one of the greatest KOs I've ever seen against Nawadu. Yeah, and that right there though, bro, that fight against Nawadu was on ESPN. I remember that knockout. That was a nasty one. But yes, I do remember the Dingaling man. Crazy. He was a cruiserweight. I remember him. Hop. There you go, Hop. Ron Lau was a guy that got out of prison that made and Ron Lau was a man's man, dude. That dude, boy, I swear, man, my dad used to always tell me this. Uh, in his opinion, as the decades go by, he was a believer in like men were more manly earlier days, just based on just living conditions, things like that. People tend to get softer with technology. You know what I mean? Um, but Ron Lau, man, this motherfucker got stabbed up in prison, damn near on his deathbed. Just the storyline, man. Like I really respect Ron Lau, man. Really respect. Gave Ali hell. You know what I mean? Him and Foreman was a war. Gotta respect Ronnie Lau, man. I remember the build up for him and Ali. Like he was just so serious and love watching Ron Lau fight. You know who else is under the radar dude from the 70s, man? That Roy Tiger Williams, man. He was another motherfucker that you didn't want to play with outside the ring. Hop says a quote from Ron Lyle about Larry Holmes. His jab was like others fighters' right hand. Yeah, and Ossia Casio probably could tell you that from experience because Holmes knocked his ass down and hurt him too with a damn jab. Did he knock him out with the jab? Was it just a knockdown or did he knock him out? I forget. I watched so much and forgot so much too, man. Yes, Curtis Anderson. I was thinking of that fight too when I was running off Ron Lyle's fights. The Ernie Shavers fight. It was a brutal fight. You're right. Nah, Stormy B, man, it's the other way around, bro. Tyson didn't think he was the Dingling man thought he was Tyson. Uh my man B Mar says, why go on to EJ? Good to see EJ up in here, man. Levi Khan. Hold on, let me see. Levi Khan says Mr. Boxing that Oleg Moskev have the weakest chin of the recent top contenders champs, KO 7 times brutally in his 7 losses. Whew. I really gotta, man. Let me. Hmm. I don't know, bro. Shit, he might be up there. I mean, well, you said shit. David Price got to be in there too, though, right? Dave Price is one of the guys, and this is all just fresh. I'm sure if I sat down and really composed a list, I'll come with some other names. But just thinking on top of my head, I know David Price got to be up in that motherfucker too, man, because Price be getting to knock the fuck out, yo. He be getting just put to sleep. Yes, Hop. Captain Obvious. Lau versus Foreman. Definition of a slugfest. Yeah, EJ, we up in here talking about some old school stuff, man. It went from me talking about what the topic is on the video to us talking about Alex Cole came up, bro. Ice Cold came up. You know what I mean? We talking about Tuesday night fights on the USA Network and all that type shit right now, man. So Arthur Mack was good, bro. He said smash that like button. Shit, Oliver McCall had one of the best chins I ever seen. Off topic, and I think I brought this up before, man. But bro, you know who had just like one of the most muscular fighters I ever seen, man, was Cleveland Williams. God damn, that dude was like, what the fuck was he doing to get in shape like that? Shit. Now I know, Jack John. There's been a plethora of guys that were in shape back in the day, but damn, Cleveland Williams had that motherfucker was like that version, that era's version of like Evander Holyfield or something. Man, that motherfucker was ripped. Stormer B Man says before you go, tell us your thoughts on Alex Stewart. Rest in peace. Um, Strong puncher. Gave Holyfield some tough fights, former tough fights. You know what I mean? Got blown out by Tyson. I thought, I thought he did the best that he can do with what he had. You know what I mean? Hey Curtis, I think B Marsh is he knows who Willie Guthrie is, bro. See, I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't know his story. You know what I mean? So I can't. I'm not gonna sit here and lie like, yeah, I know. No, I don't know his story. But I'm gonna definitely look him up now. B Marsh talking about. I'm gonna go look him up. Then Kurt, my man Kurt says the funniest fight was Greg Page versus Scott Ledoux. Bro, I watched that fight like a couple years ago, man. Yo, Greg Page, man. First of all, Scott Ledoux is a Minnesotan. He's from Minnesota. You know what I mean? But man, Greg Page was clowning around in that fight so much, man. Damn, that dude was clowning. Y'all think Tyson Fury be clowning around. And shit, Greg Page damn near fights like Tyson Fury, or Tyson Fury fights like him. He's the older guy, but bro, he was clowning around like a motherfucker in that fight, man. Just clowning. Arthur Mack, shit, possibly. He says he thinks Frank Bruno was the most muscular fighter that he's ever seen. Levi Kahn said Cleveland Williams got shot. Yes, he did. He did get shot. You're right. He did. He says he got shot in the abdomen before he fought Ali. Imagine how tough that son of a bitch would. A man's man fighter, old school legend. Yeah, bro. Like them old school cats, man. Like my grandfather was in the Navy and shit. Like them cats was old school, man. Tough. You know what I mean? Just tough, man. Like just tough, like some motherfucking aged bourbon or something, man. Like them dudes are just rugged and tough, man. And see, it's funny nowadays, right? It's just funny how just things work, man. Like nowadays, we'll say he's a cab driver, he's a grocery store worker, or he's a carpenter. But back in those days, motherfuckers did have jobs, and that's what made them tough. Now I get it now. Being able to work out full time and just focus on boxing or any sport, common sense or just the logical thinking would be, well, hey, you'll be a lot better at said sport if you can spend all day training, have the proper training facilities, blah blah blah. Bro, I remember Joe Frazier reading his autobiography when he was coming up in the pros. He had a fucking job. He would go and he would have 30 minutes to work out, and he would go to the gym. And when I actually, when I'm working out, I call it in my I named it the Joe Frazier workout, is when I try to hit my bag for 30 minutes nonstop. Um, I call it the Joe Frazier drill because Joe Frazier would go 30 minutes. All he had was 30 minutes. And that motherfucker go out there, and that's why his motor was the way it was, on top of God given grit that he had, determination that he had instilled within himself. But he would go for 30 minutes in that motherfucking bag nonstop, power shots, everything power, moving his head, working his legs, get the most out of that workout that he possibly could, and then go to work. But nowadays, you get made, you get called a cab driver. And I get why some people use it to insult certain opponents. So I get it. But bro, the origins of this shit was people did have jobs. That's what made them tough to go work a fucking 12-hour shift in the fucking steel mill or some shit. You know what I mean? And then go put in 2 hours of hard smart, is I really don't think a lot of new fans know this. Now, did he finally make it to a point in his career where he didn't have to do that? Of course. But a lot of these guys grew up with jobs, man. Kurt Anderson said he think Mike Weaver was the most muscular. Ken Norton got it. I don't know if somebody mentioned Kenny, but Kenny got to be in there too. Ken Norton was a muscular motherfucker too, man. But Williams, though, just for that era, is just because I went back and watched the listing fights. I was just like, damn, that dude's muscular as fuck, man. B Mar says he says Willie Guthrie fought for the vacant strap versus Reggie Johnson for the IBF at 175. Man, and I see my man B Marsh brought up Darius Mikushevsky. I always wanted to see him fight Roy Jones, man. Back when they was, I wanted to see that fight so damn bad because HBO would bring up, like, when Roy would fight, they will always say Roy Jones is the recognized undisputed light heavyweight champion, but there is Darius Mikushevsky, and I was like, damn, why don't that dude? Why don't he just fucking come over here and fight? My man Scrapbook Boxing up in this thing. Salute to you, bro. Trap House says, yep, those guys worked in steel mills and shit like that, and those guys measured your strength by handshakes. And my man Bernard Hopkins would do this when he would go and meet and greet. Let's say and he said he still does it to this day, but when he go, you know how guys give each other the handshake, oh, what's good, bro? You get like the little half hug, what's good, bro? B Hop said he would do it, and he will press up against you to see, is this motherfucker in shape? Kind of nudge, to see if you're in shape. You know what I mean? So a lot of old school guys do a lot of old school little tactics where some young green just happy to be around other fighter type dude, not even know you getting measured and sized up. You know what I mean? It's but you got an old school cat like Bernard Hopkins doing little old school stuff to see if you've been training, to see if you've been in the gym. You know what I mean? Especially if you're at an event with a suit on, you really can't tell. Sometimes you can tell by guys, their chin or if their face is poking out and fat and shit like that. But B Hop said he will always do that, especially guys that were at or around his same division. He will always do that. Michael Johnson said, "Man, I hate a limp ass hand. Yeah, it feels weird, bro. I've encountered. That's why that shit is pretty weird, man. When you go, hey man, what's good, and their hands just they got their hands just loose, and that shit is kind of awkward, man. Now I'm not into the let's squeeze each other hands and make the other motherfucker say uncle thing either, bro. I used to bounce downtown, and this was so funny, man. And this before Kenny Mayne did a Kenny Mayne from ESPN. He had did a segment on Adrian Peterson when Peterson was with the Vikings about his handshake. And what was so ironic, bro, a few years before that segment, I met Adrian Peterson. I was bouncing at the club downtown Minneapolis. We're closing up, right? This was his rookie season. We're closing up. The manager telling me don't let nobody in because you'll have strays trying to come in and use the bathroom, and hey, are y'all still open? Can I buy one more drink? Hey, bouncer man, I'll throw you 100 if you can just all that type of shit. Sometimes I did used to make things happen for some money, but that's neither here nor there. But anyways, he's telling me no more people in, no more people. I'm like, all right, cool. But this motherfucker would let me let people in if it was women, and he would try to do his thing. But anyways, Adrian Peterson coming to the door. He's like, bro, can I use the bathroom? I'm like, everybody in there Vikings fans. So I'm letting him, he's like, I said nobody. And before he can get it out, AP walks in. But we had shook hands. And this motherfucker grip was like, bro, I didn't know if he was trying to break my hand or what. And I got a firm handshake. I'm not no little dude, but damn, man. I thought this motherfucker was trying to break my motherfucking knuckles, man. So, but yeah, that's crazy though, man. And it's funny, a few years later, Kenny Mayne did Kenny Mayne likes to joke, and he had them little funny segments on ESPN talking about his handshake. But that's my handshake story. Never thought I'd even fucking bring that up, but yeah. Deuce Hop, Sonny Liston had some of the biggest hands I've ever seen in my life on TV, man. Yo, Shannon Briggs got some big ass knuckles too. Mike Tyson. Yeah, there's a lot of them dudes, man. See y'all saying rest in peace to Greg Page. Yeah, Greg Page came along, man. He was a part of that those group of heavyweights that they want to fight like their idol, man. So he fought a lot like Muhammad Ali, man. Evander versus Ken Norton, Adari Pennant. I'm going with Evander. I think Evander would take the fight to Kenny. And as awkward as Kenny was, and he'll have a high output, I just think Evander outworks him. I have grown to love Evander Holyfield in the ring, man. And I was a hater of Evander. I hated Evander Holyfield, dude. I hated him. Hated him. Hated that dude, man. But that dude was a true warrior, man. Scrapbook Boxer says Bone Crusher Smith had a tight grip as well. Bone Crusher Smith, man, one of the few dudes that I heard that had a damn college degree before he even had his boxing career. Heavyweight, you know what I mean? What was the other guy? The early 2000s, the boxing banker. What's my man's name? Y'all know who I'm talking about. The boxing banker. He was another dude that had a damn college degree before he stepped in the ring. That's crazy too, man. It's funny what type of guys this sport can bring in. You can bring in a guy that has a college degree that seems as if he has, why are you fighting? You know what I mean? Um, Calvin Brock. There you go, Levi Khan. Calvin Brock. I remember Brock fighting Klitschko on an ESPN paper. Y'all remember when ESPN had the pay per view, and Calvin Brock was on there. Um, where was I at? What was I talking about? College degrees. Yeah. So Calvin Brock had a college degrees, heavyweight. Pretty sure there's some other guys that I'm missing, man. But crazy, man. Then you have some guys that come into boxing that come from nothing. That literally come from nothing. Guys are orphans. Guys that came from households where one parent or two parents and there was 11 of them or some shit like that. You know what I mean? This sport can bring, you can literally be a nobody, man, and turn yourself into somebody. Yes, Curtis Anderson, Greg Page had skill. All the skill that people, so many B man said Brock was murdered in the ring that night against Klitschko, but all the skill that people praised Tyson Fury for, I wonder how they would have felt watching Greg Page back in the day, because the announcers hated it. They hated it, especially the Ledoux fight. They hated that shit. Yep, B Marsh. Yep, that's where. Yep, he is from North Carolina. Yep, I think he got his degree from was it North Carolina A&T or some shit like that, or North Carolina. It wasn't North Carolina, and it wasn't North Carolina State, but I think it was like North Carolina A&T or something like that. Stormer Beeman says Page versus Ruddock was entertaining. Hey, bro, you know another entertaining fight Ruddock was in, and I ain't talking about the Tyson fights or anything like that, but his fight with Dokes was just that knockout was ridiculous. But his fight with Bone Crusher, now we bring up, yeah. Speaking of Bone Crusher Smith and Ruddock, they had a damn good fight. If y'all haven't seen Bone Crusher Smith versus Razor Ruddock, please go check that out, and please thank me later for the entertainment. Yes, he did, Curtis. He did go KO Jerry Coetzee, and Coetzee was a guy, man. It took him 3 tries, right, to get that title, man. You know what I mean? Came up short a few times. If I'm not mistaken, Coetzee knocked out my man Spinks, Leon. Am I correct? I know he fought. Who did Coetzee fight to end up getting him to fight with? I hate when I do this, man. I'm look. I can see the dude that had the WBA title ended up getting knocked out by Mike Weaver. This is gonna y'all know. I know. I just can't fucking think of the dude's name, man. The dude that got knocked out against Weaver in the last round. I know somebody left the name. John Tate, yeah, Big John Tate out of Tennessee. Okay, so I believe Coetzee fought Kownacki. I believe I'm pronouncing his name right. Knoeztzee, some shit like that. But he fought him. Coetzee fought him, and then he got the fight with Tate. I believe that's how that went. Yes, okay, Kurt. And another thing about Kownacki, not Coetzee, but the other dude, he had a. And speaking of brought up Razor Ruddock, but there was another Ruddock, no relation to Razor Ruddock, Kownacki and this Ruddock dude. If y'all go, they had one of the famous stare offs I've ever seen in professional boxing, man. When the ref got him in the middle of the ring. Oh, he was a racist. I didn't know that. B Marsh. When they're in the middle of the ring and they're looking at each other, bro, was one of the craziest stare offs I've ever seen. But hey, y'all been on here for an hour and a half, man. Um, we talk about some of everything. He says, B Marsh. B Marsh says, yeah, racist white South African cop. I didn't know that. I was not privy to that, bro. But I do remember him as a fighter, though. He says, Hop says John Tate had lots of potential as Dwayne Bobbitt. Dwayne Bobbitt, another Minnesotan. Dwayne Bobbitt, the guy who put a beat down on my one of my favorite fighters, Larry Holmes, in the Olympic trials, and Howard Cosell's punk ass was saying Larry Holmes is dogging it, and he was just killing Larry, man. But hey, maybe Larry deserved it at that point in time in his career. But yes, Dwayne Bobbitt. I do remember Dwayne Bobbitt. Um, he actually fought at the first stadium that the Vikings used to play at, not the Metrodome, but the stadium. I forgot the name of the stadium, but it was the stadium in Bloomington, Minnesota, where the Mall of America is at right now. But I remember Bobbitt had a fight there. You know what I mean? Oh, okay, I did not know that, B Marshall. I appreciate you dropping that, man. He shot a black youth. Curtis Anderson said, "My father hated Jerry Coetzee. I heard he was a cop in South Africa." Yeah, I remember it took Coetzee 3 tries to win the title, though. You know what I mean? He beat Dokes in Ohio. Is that how we? I think that's how Coetzee got his title. He beat Dokes in Ohio, or am I off? Yes, Hop, you're right. Bobbitt also once beat Teofilo Stevenson in the amateurs, and Stevenson also lost to Igor. Uh, I did a video on it years ago. Igor, I forgot the guy's last name, but Igor beat Stevenson a couple times, and Stevenson only lost a handful of fights. Okay, Curtis says, yeah, okay. So yeah, man, my I forget a lot, man. So, but yeah, I got that right though. Okay, that's what's up. Um, Stevenson lost a few. Voltowski, I forgot the guy's last name. Um, Stormer B man said Cokes, Dokes. Bro, one thing though, before I get off here, man. Jay Jerk, I'm gonna answer Jay Jerk last before I get out of here. But Coke Dokes, what Stormer B man said, bro. Now look, we live like in the Me Too movement, right? So when you say certain shit, people are just up, they're just appalled that you would think something like that or say something like that. But when I be telling people like, look, bro, I'm not advocating that these guys go out there and snort cocaine, but when or however they ingest cocaine, but when Fury's going through his thing, I'm like, yeah, I get it, you know what I mean? But bro, everybody in the 80s did cocaine. Like, I'm not saying it's cool, but all the fucking heavyweights was doing cocaine. Even Mike Tyson later came out and said he was coked up. They all did cocaine. And we're just sitting here like looking at Fury, like just feeling so sorry. And had he not been on cocaine, it's like, well, shit, had the whole 80s not been on cocaine. Again, I'm not justifying it. I'm just saying, like, bro, it's nothing new. You know what I'm saying? Nothing new, man. Uh, I appreciate that, Hop. He says 2020 blessings to everybody. Great chat, Mr. Box. Today's Box Conversations like B Marshes are some of the best on YouTube. Straight up, take care. All of you. I appreciate that, man. All right, now let me finish this, bro. Let's only be on here for 7 hours. All right. Let me just answer my man. Hey, Adari Pennant, bro, you give me a lot of fantasy matchups, man. I'm gonna pick Holyfield against Ika Buche. I mentioned that before because based on what I seen Buche fight this guy named Greg Pinkram. Yes, Greg Pinkram is no Holyfield, but there were just certain things in that fight that would make me believe that Holyfield could beat Ike. All right. Um, Now, but let me get to my man Jay Jerky says, did you get into some stuff as a bouncer? Yes. I'm gonna tell you this one story, bro. So I have a lot of them, but this one just stands out and it just lets me know. And this is why I was doing it as a part-time job back in '07, '08, '09, and I had to get out of it, man, because people want to get into the club just totally out of dress code. White, and this back when white tees was like super popular. Dudes wearing white tees at their kneecaps, thinking they're gonna get into the gym or get into the club. You don't let them in. They want to jump you after the club and all this type of shit. But there was a point, or there was a situation, man, where drunk dude being belligerent. He was shorter than me. I'm 6'5", but I wasn't one of them bouncers that's trying to like poke my chest out, stand over you, arms crossed. I wasn't like that. You know what I mean? I was a smooth. I wanted to solve problems. You know what I mean? Not enrage problems and beefs and started and riot in the damn club. All right. But anyways, this dude was talking shit to me, talking shit, talking shit, talking shit. Sometimes you can have dudes that come to the club all the time. They build kind of like a well, they think like a friendship, but me is more like they're there every weekend. So it's more like I can't think of the proper word, man, but it's more like a acquaintance. We just acquaintances, man. But anyways, dude was like, man, you want me to handle this? And before I can even say anything, he kind of like walked away from me because a lot of shit going on. Asked me, do I want him to handle the drunk? Dude, like, nah, dude, all right, man. He just drunk talking shit. So dude is standing out on the street, right? Dude went to the dude and punched the dude in his jaw, right? Okay, somebody got punched. Wow. Dude, he knocked the dude unconscious. Dude fell down, head bounced off the concrete. The dude had blood run out of his ears, yo. That shit was scary, man. That was some scary shit. And I almost felt bad, but I'm like, I didn't tell the dude to do a damn thing. When people are inebriated and drunk, they'll do some of any and everything, man. There was a night I remember, or there was like months in a row, bro, where cats downtown Minneapolis was robbing waitresses after work. So they would have us, the bouncer, walk these waitresses to their cars. And I'm like, bro, I'm not a fucking security guard, man. Like, you motherfuckers getting robbed at gunpoint. Like, you know what I mean? So that shit was pretty scary. Um, then I remember that night where somebody got shot in the face. It's just a lot of shit that happened bouncing, man. And there's a plethora of other stories I don't even feel comfortable talking about on this, you know what I mean? But a lot of shit happened when I was bouncing, man. But hey, y'all, I appreciate y'all being up in here, man. Uh, family showed up in this thing, man. But hey, y'all, till next time, man. Y'all be easy. I'm gone.